Good morning, folks, World War II enthusiasts. My name is Larry Martin. I do a program called Larry Martin's World War II in their own words. Today I'm going to answer a Twitter question from Troy Knapp. He wants to know if I've ever interviewed any German soldiers to get their side of World War II. I've done extensive interviews. I've got three. One of them is probably 3 hours long, and the other two are 1 hour apiece. So I've got about 5 hours of DVD from German soldiers. One's name is Adolf Lohner, and he fought on the Russian front, and he got into some bitter fighting. Was taken prisoner. He was a tanker who, when he lost his tank, um, ended up fighting as an infantryman. He used a Russian weapon because it was more reliable. The German weapons were fine. It's just that if they got dirty, full of mud, whatever, dirt, they just jam up. So he got a Russian weapon, which is kind of like the AK-47. One thing great about the AK-47 is it's got such loose tolerances that it'll tolerate a little bit of dirt. So I've got Adolf Lohner. I've got a man named Ernst Flotter, who is a good friend of mine. I still talk to him all the time. I see Adolf occasionally, Adolf Lohner, but I see Ernst Flotter often. Ernst was taken by us as a POW in the Normandy campaign, what we call D-Day, about 2 weeks after D-Day, so somewhere around the 20th of June of 44. And Ernst came back and was a POW in the Southwest picking cotton and fruit. The third man I have is passed away now. His name is Leo Forster. Leo fought in the German army, the Wehrmacht, in Italy. So I have many interviews of Germans. I don't have any of the Japanese. I haven't found any Japanese. So few of them survived the island fighting. They either were killed by our Marines and soldiers, or they committed suicide, hara-kiri, or just shot themselves. If you have any other questions, I can tell you extensively, and also all these DVDs are for sale with written permission of the veterans. I'm trying to keep history alive. We all need to understand what that war was about, how it changed our world. And Troy, if you have any other questions, you can email me through the website, and we can start conversing by email. Anybody else has any questions, go to lmww2.com. You probably already know that, or you wouldn't be watching this right now. I like hearing your questions. I will try to answer them as best I can. And if I can't answer them, I will call these soldiers up. Soldiers, sailors, Marines. Again, thank you for the question, Troy. I hope this gave you a little bit of information about them. Also, they hate being called Nazis. Nazis were the National Socialist Party. Ernst, for instance, Ernst Flotter, says that his real enemies were not the Americans, it was the Gestapo and the Nazi Party. They had no freedoms. They had no freedom of speech. They had no privacy. They had no nothing under the Nazis. So they don't like to be called Nazis. They were German soldiers in the German Wehrmacht. Same as our soldiers were in the American Army or the Marine Corps or the Navy. They didn't necessarily follow any particular political persuasion. So these men do not like being called Nazis. Adolf did an interview with me and then come and did a program in front of a couple hundred people where he did a question and answer. And the first thing he told me, he says, I'll come do a question and answer session for the audience. He says, but don't tell people, do not call me a Nazi. Again, I hope that this answers your question, Troy, and write me some more questions, and you can get me through Twitter or my website at lmww2.com. Thanks, folks. Hope you enjoyed this.